your character in a way is the guide or the reason for for uh, for her to improve her self-esteem in a way, because in a society in which after 50 we feel that social pressure of not being attractive as sexually, or not being attractive as a
Sure.
person in general, is tough.
Right.
So what is it, the role of the role you play in terms of improving her self-esteem?
Yeah. Wow. That's a wonderful question. So much of this has to do with my relationship working with Lisa, our director, because she was basing this loosely off of a relationship that she had had, and I think so much of that was personal for her. So wanting to ask the right questions, because obviously I knew that the film was inspired by her life, but also you need to, as any actor, when you're playing someone based off of someone, take some liberties for yourself. But I wanted to be clear from the get go who that man was to her, and then begin to slowly kind of work it with Sophie and figure out, how to best be the person that would bring this side out of her. And I think realistically, it was a matter of having like similar philosophical ideas and all these different things, and having a physical attraction, but ultimately just having fun. I mean, she lets loose. She gets to feel young again. I think there's something about just this idea of putting down all of these ideas in your head about what you should be doing and who you're doing it for other than yourself, and having her family constantly ask her questions about who she's dating and all the pressure that comes with partnership. I think she just needed to have some fun, and I think that's exactly what the relationship between John and Lisa is, and that's why it's endearing.
You've done a lot of TV. You've been around for quite a while. What's the biggest satisfaction that you get from acting? And I can tell from checking your, on IMDb
Yeah.
that you jump
Right.
from very different projects, one to another, and in a
Yeah. Yeah.
very dynamic way.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I always just try to do something different every time if I can, and not continue to do the same thing. So for this particular one, I had come off of playing a bit of a psychopath in a previous role, and it was a lot of fun to do. But I was really gravitating towards something lighter and romantic and fun. And then you tack on the fact that it was a French film. I mean, come on, it couldn't be better than that. So I just want to continue to change things up and stretch myself as an actor as much as possible and work different muscles. But ultimately, the bottom line, similar to what I just said, is just having fun, as much fun as possible, because you get to play pretend for a living. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
So, Colin, do you think that French culture approaches love and sex in a different way than America?
Hmm. Do you mean in terms of what we take in from the standpoint of entertainment, or do you think just relationships in general?
In general and in films, especially in
Yeah,
films.
I think for films, it's definitely, there's a similarity between what we've idealized love to be and romance, between French and, I can only speak on behalf of Americans, but I think in terms of the connection between two people, what I found really interesting working on this project with Sophie and Lisa, and when we would have conversations about the scenes before filming them, is what Americans categorize as a partner, and what those entail, and those specific kind of I don't know, like thresholds you have to get by in order for a relationship to be official. And like, there's all these titles that we put on things. I feel the French are so much more fluid. There's just this relaxed sort of human nature to the French way of living, and I think that applies to relationships. And there's just a freedom. Americans are so worried about showing themselves
Yeah.
physically and personally, and I think that's something that we could definitely take a few lessons from the French. But there are many similarities there too, no doubt.